How it feel to be a dad, how it feel to be a man. Get provide by any means, and we sticking to the plan. Yeah, I do this for my seed. Come and listen, come and see. Remember it was just me, now it's all about we. Lead by example, this for my child, I swear that I got you for life. Went from the court to talking about buckets, now we talking Pampers and wipes. I really love this though, look at you and get inspired. You the fuel to my fire. Come here, let me change your diaper. Diaper dash.
Diaper Dad fam, what is good? You know the deal, man. We are back again, episode 16. Listen, Father's Day just passed, man. To all my fathers out there, man. Hope you guys enjoy the day and really, took time to relax and have fun with your kids and stuff like that. But Boog, we're back, man. What's good?
Back, relaxed, and feel better than ever, bro.
How's that Father's Day, man?
I had a Father's weekend, bro. So it wasn't even like it wasn't just a whole 24 hours. I was saw you on the snap, you was counting down your hours. No, I couldn't count down my hours. I had a whole 48, bro. It was definitely great. It was cool to feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? That shit we was talking about last episode with my day-to-day. Just really, I didn't have to lift a finger. But other than that, bro, it was hands down one of the best weekends of the year, needless to say. But yeah, everything went well though. Everything, like I said, relaxing. How about you?
Oh, it went good, man. Like what I was saying, man, shit, didn't do too much. Got in from Miami. Was pretty tired from the flight. Just chill, had brunch, and that was really it. Just took a nap, watched a little bit of the Clippers game. The Clippers played the first game on Sunday against the Suns. Watched that game, and then that was it. Just chill and then got ready for work tomorrow, the next day, and that was it. Just chill, nothing special.
The best days is when you ain't gotta do shit, bro. That's fucking perfect. But yeah, man, let's get into today. So
what you got, man?
So I got something for you.
You got up your sleeve.
I got some shit on my sleeve. So Boog went ahead and did a little bit of research. I was watching a little bit of things here and there. So ended up watching the Red Table Talk, right?
Oh, with Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
Yep. So,
Let me ask you this. Is Kevin Hart funny to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You already know what you're about to say.
Is he funnier than Will Smith?
Well,
stop.
Wait. Before you say comedic way, like if it's stand-up wise, if I had to choose between like who I had to see in stand-up, I'm going to see Kevin Hart. I don't know if it's just because he's more animated than me. I don't know what it is. I would go see Kevin Hart. They're both funny as shit. But anyway, that's not the point.
Yo, hold on. Before we jump now, I want to hear. Give me like your top 3 comedians, real quick.
Like of all time?
All time. Like you would pay money to go see them.
Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
I would pay to go see fucking Richard Pryor too, bro. Like if I could. If I was in that era, I would definitely 100%.
Okay, I thought Kevin Hart was gonna be in your list. Okay, I wanted to check the temperature a little bit.
It's still hot, motherfucker. You thought I was gonna say like Kevin Hart? Like, there's a lot of good comedians out there that I would go see. I would go see Kevin Hart, but if I had to choose out of all the comedians, those would be my top 3.
Okay, all right, give it to me. What's popping?
No, give me your top 3 because I need to hear this. Because you going to see Will Smith?
Nah, not stand up. But my top 3 comedians, definitely Martin Lawrence. That's my dog.
That was my.
You know what I mean? Get the step in. You know what I mean? And Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx is
underrated, bro. A lot of people know how funny that was.
Hands down, the most talented comedian ever.
Jamie Foxx.
I had one too many drinks and ended up at listen, man. And I love Cat Williams. I love Cat Williams, yo. He's hilarious. Like, he's hilarious. So it's either between Cat Williams and Mike Epps. Mike Epps is really funny too, man.
Not too many people find him funny. I find that weird because like he's funny to me, Mike Epps.
He's funny to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Mike Epps is funny. Yeah, he's definitely up there. And then not to mention, like, I like Dave Chappelle too, yo, but I like the Dave Chappelle show type Dave. I don't like the stand-up. I hated stand-ups. I personally believe he has bad stand-ups. And then obviously, you know, we got Chris Rock, Chris Tucker. The list goes on, but Kevin Hart is way below. But keep it going, keep going. My bad.
I was watching the Red Table Talk, right? And there was some shit that was said on the episode, and Will had mentioned it. It's called The Adversity Paradox, right? It's a book, and it essentially talks about how, as humans, all the like trials and tribulations we have experienced throughout life, how it molds us to be successful, right? So like when people say like nobody, like just like our boy started from the bottom, now we here, right? Or I got it out the mud, like, you know what I'm saying? Like how those adverse situations really push people to get where they want to go.
Yeah.
So tie this back to parenthood, right? And so Will went on this whole tangent and was like, well, shit, like we give our children everything, you know what I mean? To try to make it, to give them that the best life that we can. But I want to but how do you balance that with letting them experience, you know, a heartbreak or experience, like if they're kids playing sports, like tearing an ACL, what it's like to be out for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? Go through the highs. You thought you was going to get an A on the test. You end up getting a B or a C. Like, how do you balance that and let them learn through life versus you coddling them, basically?
I say I haven't watched it, but I think from what the standpoint he's saying, I think he's saying from like opportunity standpoint, where like he's giving them every opportunity you could really think of in life, like meaning everything. But I think, yo, when it comes from like heartbreaks and this, that, and the third, I'm pretty sure, yo, I think he let them live through that, because you got to remember, he never grew up rich.
I'm not talking about, see, their status, they're up here, right? We're bringing it down to people that are here with us, right?
Gotcha.
Like the whole thing behind it is that we try to give our children the world.
Yes.
And try to make sure that they don't want for nothing and do that.
Yeah.
How do you mix that with, you know what I'm saying, letting them experience what it feels like to fall, like whether it be physically.
I would say the same way your parents did it, same way my parents did it. Like, yo, yeah, they try to give us everything, but yo, life just has its course, yo. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stop somebody from, getting, liking someone and getting a heartbreak. Like I feel like that's just nature. That's natural. Because at the end of the day, everyone's gonna like the person. No one says like, yo, don't like it, don't like that girl, don't like that girl. But yo, deep down in your body, you're gonna like her. Something happens, and that's just the nature of life. That's how like the circle of life goes. Same thing with A's and B's. You know, you can study all you want, shit might pop up, and shit you gotta see it, something like that. But I don't think, yo, certain things it's just gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna try to give them everything, and when I say everything, I mean like the opportunity and sometimes maybe financially wise things. But you know, sometimes you just gotta let kids be kids, yo. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I completely agree with you. This is one of the reasons why I want to talk to you about it. So I think me and you, we kind of on that same wavelength. You know what I mean? Like, and I think tying other fathers into it is that I think we expect our kids to fall. You know what I mean? We expect them to learn life through experience versus us telling them, hey, don't do that because X, Y, and Z is going to happen. You know what I mean?
So let me catch you real quick. I'm not expecting anybody to fail. You know what I mean?
Oh no, of course.
I think I'm not expecting them to fall either. I think the thing about them is I'm there to catch them when they do fall.
Yeah, I said the same exact thing.
You know what I mean? So I'm not expecting them to be like, oh, like that's normal, this, that, and the third. I'm expecting them to keep going. Shit. If you don't fall, you don't fall. But
Exactly.
I gotta teach you, hey, sometimes it might happen, but shit, keep going.
Hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
But at the end of the day, if they do fall, I'm there for them. You know what I mean? But I'm not really anticipating to be like, yo, shit, if Nova Rose gets a heartbreak, yo, like that's just normal. If she don't get a heartbreak, she don't get a heartbreak. But, I'm going to try to explain to her like, yo, this is how life goes, this, that, and the third.
And exactly, like I tell everybody, like I always let the twins do as they please within reason, of course. But it's not about them falling. It's more so about you being there if and when they do fall. You know what I'm saying? Like no one wishes their kid to go through those experiences. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're in that situation, your kid's failing. Like how do you? You know what I'm saying? Like how does that conversation go for you? One, because right now our kids don't speak. So we kind of get twofold. So our kids really they speak, but they're men and women of very little words, right? And then and oftentimes moms love that nurturing factor really kicks in. So it's like it's like twofold. Like how do you explain to your children like what's happening and why it's happening, and how do you tell your significant other like, yo, you need to just relax, like let them experience this?
So I think, like I was just talking to someone about this the other day. Women back then and women now, they're just built different, yo. I feel like women back then, they're just built a little bit more stronger. It's kind of like that Camry we talked about. You know what I mean? Like that shit was just built. It was built to just be built. You know what I mean? Like it was built for, longevity, endurance. It was built right. But nowadays, niggas is building cars off of other cars. You feel me? Yeah. So like, I'm really about to hit y'all. I ain't even think about this shit. I'm really about to hit y'all in the head. But it's like, it's the same thing with like social media. It's like, nowadays, women to see certain things, and not even kids, but they'll see certain things like, yo, I should live this type of way. Like, dang, yo, I'm really not having the best relationship, just because they see things off of social media and what people say. But like women back then, there was like no curiosity or anything to really like had their minds moving like that. You know what I mean? There was no social media. There wasn't no Facebook. It was just like, yo, I got to get this shit done. I got a kid. Yo, and then, yo, you know what I mean? And like, yo, it's like, yo, if they bump into shit, they just bump into shit. But I got to keep going because I got a life I got to live. And I feel like women these days, it's just like, they get a lot of hand holding too, man. Like, yo, it's okay. And yo, forgive me for this. It's okay to have postpartum depression and this, that, and the third. Yes, all those things are real, but like, just think about how much that was talked about back then. It wasn't. You know what I mean? Even though it was a thing, it wasn't. They just kept it going. Like, yo, I gotta keep going. But nowadays, it's just like, it's always an avenue for excuse. Basically, there's always an avenue for excuse. And that's the truth. It's just like, yo, well, I feel like I should be doing with my baby, or yo, I heard this and this is how I really feel. And it's like, yo, like, all right, cool, yo, but I'm letting you know, man, like life ain't gonna go like that.
So you're saying that, so if I stand correct, so what you're saying is that women compare like how, like what they do for their children off of what they see, well, from what they see everywhere else, right? Because every other like media news source outlet, right? Because like now we're in a day and age where moms they want to read books and they want to learn like what to do when the baby has colic and what the baby has reflux, like how do you hold them? You hold them at a certain degree and shit like that. Back then, it was like, I don't know what's going on. We just gonna go to the doctor and they're gonna figure it out for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we're in that space. But okay. So that's the woman side of things, and women is completely okay. We're not bashing y'all saying that reading books and trying to be informative about parenting. That's great on your behalf. Men, we don't do that shit. We just fucking live through experience because you write your own story, right? You write your own book. I can't live off of I can't live off the next man. I got to live off of what's mine and what's going on right now. So how do we? So it seems like the men narrative, the man's narrative hasn't changed, right? So we have that, and they referenced it to like in on Red Table Talk, they referenced it to this militant mind state, right? Something along the lines like yeah, I understand what you're going through is bad, but like this is the way certain things need to be done, right? Like we're in that mind, like you get up, if you fall, you get back up, right?
Yeah, that's been meant since day of time, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has. So our narrative hasn't changed, but the woman's narrative has become intricate, right? So now they got all these different outlets and books, podcasts, all this shit. How do we, you know what I'm saying, compensate for that? Because when both of us,
what do you mean by that?
So for instance, say you Nova Rose, Jazz in the room, right? Nova Rose takes a spill, it's a mean spill, but you can see, like, you know, physically, you can read the situation and know she's okay, right? And Jasmine gets up and like runs over to her, like just books it to her, just picks her up, and you like, nah, she's fine, like just let her get up on her own, and you know what I'm saying, like, okay, you don't have to hold not make this big scene about it, just let her get up and go. Like, how do you what's that interaction like for you between you and Jazz in front of Nova, one, and then two, like, do you have that conversation away when Nova's not around? Because the conversation is going to be different. You know what I'm saying?
You had a conversation there and then, because the first thing you're going to say is like, yo, just let her get up. And then obviously she's going to have a response along the line like, yo, she's just a kid, or yo, she just 2, or she just 3, or whatever. Which is, you know, normal. But then again, my whole thing is like, yo, why when I say something, it's this, that, and the third. But when you say something, everything's all peaches and creams. You know what I mean?
Say that again.
I just feel like, yo, and it goes for fathers too. When fathers say something, it's always question. It's always this, that, and the third. Well, it's because of this, or no, let them do this, or. But when women say something, it's just like everything goes. It's always peaches and creams. Like, you can't even say shit back. I'm just like, hold on, what? That don't even make any sense. It really don't. And the good thing about it is this. Let me give you a great example. If Jasmine wants to be like, yo, I'm gonna go down back home with the kid, everything from right then when she says that, everything's okay. It's not even asking me. If I say, yo, I want to go to New Jersey with the baby, it's like, yo, are you asking me? Like, that's the whole narrative now. It's like, are you asking me, Shane, or like, are you asking me to come with you?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't get it. Like, yo, we both parents, we both do the same thing sometimes. Like, how come you got more flexibility than I can, or you got more say than I can? But I think sometimes it's just a conversation that needs to be had, like you said, sometimes in front of the kids and then sometimes behind closed doors. Like, yo, sometimes when you say stuff, yo, it's cool. It's a straight shot. When I say shit, yo, I got to dribble around the defender, turn back around, fade away, call timeout. Like, you know, I deal with it too all the time sometimes, you know what I mean? But I think it's gotten a little bit better because I'm like, yo, how come when you say stuff, it's okay. When I say stuff, it's questions.
And I think, and you know what I think it is, bro, that like what helps with that specific like portion of fatherhood, because that shit's normal area. It happens to me. I have thoughts like, oh, bro, how come you can literally say the same thing I said, and the same thing I'm saying is something you would say, and you still look at me like I'm crazy when I say it. Like it happens. It happens. It's completely normal. What was I about to say? Oh, I think because the mothers feel that I think the mothers have this notion where they because the baby's been with them for so long, that they've grown with them, like that they kind of have like that seniority over us, not knowing that like we've been holding you down for 9 months when you were pregnant, you couldn't walk. You know what I'm saying? We were taking you on, like we were doing all the ins and outs, like the physical structure of our family, as far as like making sure everyone's healthy, is just as equally, not it's just as equally the same, because the woman's body does something completely different when it comes to having babies and shit like that. But it means something to where we have some say in making decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, definitely. Yeah.
And those times, like, and there's times, and even times like now, is like I have those we'll have those conversations. Now I'll just make an exec decision, right? And then I'll do it, and she'll just say okay. And sometimes, like, it depends on what it is. Like, maybe I'll get a little backfire, maybe not. Whatever, it's fine. But it's normal. Like I said,
another great example. I get the best thing is like, yo, Nova going outside with a jacket or without a jacket. That's like something that always brings up. We going outside, yo. All right, yo, let's go outside, Nova. All right, yo, make sure you put a jacket on, Nova. I'm like, yo, she good. The sun is out. It's like 80 degrees. Well, I felt a little breeze. Once again, we're going back and forth. If she's going outside with Nova and I say something like, yo, put a jacket on her, first thing she's going to say is, oh, now you just saying it to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, now you know, like, it's just like, I don't know, man. I
don't know what it is either, because it's the same way with me. Like, certain shit Ashley does, like, yo, bro, it's fine. But then I get hit with some shit. Like, the whole jacket situation, I lived through all that. I lived that. That fucking story. That's always fun.
Yeah.
The sunscreen one is a big one. If these kids, if the sun is out, no, and if there's the sun's out and there ain't a cloud in the sky, sunscreen. They become a home pasty as hell sometimes.
So what, yo? Let me ask you this, yo. What HP or what PF or whatever? What do y'all put on the kids?
I couldn't tell you. Actually, I think it's 50.
Okay.
That's like the normal one or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't, because that's the thing. It's like when I take them outside, it's like we're just gonna go outside and go for. It ain't like we just sitting outside and baking in the fucking sun. It's like we're going outside, we're going on a wagon ride. Not saying the sun you still can't attract some vitamin D from the sun or just the rays from the sun.
You need but you need that. You know that, right? That's like a big thing for women too, man. A lot of women lack and they have a deficiency in vitamin D.
Word.
And they try to, look, I'm telling you, man, if you talk about statistics, I know that for a fact. You can look this up. A lot of women have a deficiency or have a problem getting vitamin D. Obviously, one of the biggest source of vitamin D you could get is from the sun.
Yep.
But a lot of women, sometimes they don't be in the sun or this, that, and the third. Yes, sunscreen is good for you. Like, no matter if the sun is out or the sun is not out, it's still good for you sometimes. But it depends on what type of the percentage that you have on you.
Yeah, SPF.
So like, exact SPF. Yes. So like, but like Jasmine, she didn't even notice. I had to kick some knowledge to her, obviously. So like for black people, yo, you don't want 50, 70, or 80. She like bought one like with 70 on it, like 50 on it. I'm like, no, yo, like,
damn,
you got to out like
on her shit. Huh? So you might as well put a fucking jacket on her. Damn, you ain't get no raise.
Exactly. So I'm just like, nah, yeah, you got to get like 30 for black people, because it's good. Like, we still need, even though we got to block the sun a little bit, yo, like our skin is melanin. We got melanin in our skin. So our skin is way thicker than any other race. Yeah. So we good. We protected, yo, but we still need that sun to keep our body right, man. Keep melanin tight. You know what I mean? So, but I was just asking about that because I know some people obviously be seeing kids with all this stuff.
Kids be motherfucking, like, they stuck their face in the pot.
Band-Aids on that.
Just be all white and shit. Coming home, just all looking ashy as fuck. Like, no. That's funny. I'm glad we touched on that one.
You gotta get the spray, man. The spray the best, yo.
Dude. I'm tired of I don't wear something. Like, when I go out, I don't put sunscreen on. I just be burning the fuck. I'd rather just burn and just be dark as shit. Gotcha. You put sunscreen on the twins, bro, they still come out golden, bro. They be coming out crisp, just nice. Like tan, just that mulatto in the blood. You feel me? But back to what we was talking about. It's real funny you brought that up because I thought that it was just like a me thing, and obviously not. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, how come when you say something, we on the fly with it? And I even mentioned it. Some me and actually had a conversation. I mentioned like, yo, how come when you say something, it's be cool? Every time I say something, when I say something, it feels like I have to have like an explanation. We're doing a dissertation of why we should be doing things a certain way. And I think that comes back to like that co-parent, not the co-parent, excuse me. That comes to that the cohesiveness as a team together to make.
But I think that's any woman. Like obviously, if you have, so say for example, like say I had a baby with another woman, and that was her first child, right? Now, my word is probably a little bit more stronger now because I've already had a child. This is my second child. This is your first child. So I kind of been through this already. You know what I mean? I think that's like the only situation where a man's word is probably a little bit stronger because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, I already had a kid. You know what I mean? Like,
but even now, like say now, the playing field's even. Like you've been a parent the same amount of time I've been a parent, right?
Yeah, but I think, but the only thing about it is they had the kid. They have that bond with them. I think that's their advantage. They're gonna say something like that. Like, we didn't carry the kid. We don't have that we don't have that real bond like a woman is gonna have with their kid. We're never gonna have that. All we're gonna do is we have just like that protection and that manly that we, have. And obviously we are, the other half of the parent, but women, because they're kind of like intertwined with the kid, they got that advantage. That's all I could think of,
Maybe.
Just think about it, yo. You carry the kid, yo. Just think about it.
Feel some type of way. Yeah.
Hold on. You carry the kid. It came out your body, and Ashley telling you shit about how to do it. Like, yo, the fuck? Yo, I just carried this kid.
Yeah, but I get that. I understand the duration of the pregnancy. I understand what it's like I've been on the other side of the less than 1% side of situations, right? Like C-section, your kids are coming out your fucking stomach, and not only your kid, you're having two of them, like they're both coming out, right? I've seen that. Yeah. I get that, and I appreciate Ashley so much for that experience, you know what I mean, and what she's done with her body, because sometimes it could be oftentimes it can be damaging, you know what I'm saying? Like she's had surgeries outside of that to try to get her body back, as far as like she got a hernia when she had babies, and she had to get that fixed. Like there's so many other things outside of just having children. But when you're in the heat of the moment, I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. Ain't no one thinking that, right? You gonna sit there and say, listen, you've been a parent just as long as I've been a parent, right? Right. Yeah. So how come we can't make these decisions as is and just go forward with it? You know what I'm saying? And not have to worry about you saying something and I'm okay with it, and then me saying something and I have to back my statements up with like evidence of why we should do it.
So I think another thing too is I could bring to is probably some of the things we do around the house, or some of the ways we might act with the kids. It might not leave them comfortable enough to, trust us. That's the next thing. It's definitely trust. It's like, they don't really trust us because, maybe it might have been something we did around the house or the way we handled this situation.
So, okay. All right. So now this conversation is taking a turn. I like where this is headed right now. So how do we get into those spaces to where we can prove to women that we're more than capable of doing it? And mothers love to be around their children, right? Like having like forcing your wife, your girlfriend out of the crib is like an actual thing. Like you got to do it to get them to take, because in order for them to be be successful in parenting and taking care of the family, they need to take care of themselves first, right? Like you need to worry, how can you take care of somebody else?
Always.
You can't take care of yourself. Oftentimes moms have to like, you got to kick them. Like you men out there, listen, if you listen to this, you don't take anything else from this podcast, take this from this episode. You have to make sure your girl gets her alone time. And when I say alone time, that means where she can go to a place, wherever the hell it may be, and not have any responsibilities, but just making sure she gets home safe herself. Because if you don't, it drives women into an obsession. And it ain't even a bad obsession, because who wouldn't want their significant other to be obsessed with their children? But it puts them in a place to where they forget, oftentimes will forget to take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's the last thing that you need. Me and Ashley are doing that now. You know what I'm saying? Like she wants to be around the kids. She's always wants to be around the kids 24/7. And I fucking love the fact that she wants to be around the kids a lot, right? But I have to like physically tell her like, yo, you need to leave and do something for Ashley for once. Like for instance, this weekend, she was like, I want to be able, she's like, yeah, with COVID, like I want to take Cass to the mall, da-da-da. You know, you need to do something for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like go do something for you and be in your world, which is very important. Self-care for the men. If you got to kick your girl out, kick her out, because that shit is definitely needed to be said. It needs to be said and make sure she takes care of herself. So how do you back to the question is how do you gain that trust?
I'm saying you got to have that time with them. Like, for example, like I'm solidified in the game, man. I done been with Nova by myself 100 times. You feel me? 100 times counting. You get me? So like, I feel like I'm already solidified. Like, and I feel like Jasmine has that comfort around me. Cause like, even she was saying, I think it's normal too, yo. Like, she's like, yeah, man. Like sometimes I feel nervous, you know, leaving you with Nova, leaving Nova with you. Like when we first started doing this, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? I could kind of understand that. And then at the same time too, I kind of understand it too. Cause like first time leaving Nova with, you know, say for example, my sister, I'm nervous. So I'm like, dang, that's how Jasmine feels, yo. Like I kind of understand this shit a little bit now.
That's not how my reaction was.
What?
What was it? In my world, it's like I'm with them just as much as you are, if not about the same. So like,
nah.
I know.
She got a big upper hand on you because she with the kids when you work.
I know she does, but what I'm saying is that like my first inclination was like, well, how are you nervous to leave my children, our children, with me? You know, like your lover, like. You
ain't got enough time in the book catalog, yo.
Now I do, bro. She's been going to.
Yo, but you still behind though.
I'm still behind. I'm catching up. But what I will say is this: is that like now that Ashley's like she'll drop the kids off. Like she'll come home from work, drop them off, and then she'll go to the gym. I will. The last 2 days since we started this whole routine. I know it's only 2 days, but I feel like I've done a lot. Bro, with twins, bro, you don't even. Today, I was hanging up a curtain, feeding them dinner, and cooking our dinner at the same time. So I was doing a whole bunch of shit. I was proud of myself. I get proud of myself in those moments. You know what I'm saying? I like to rise to the occasion. But when she comes home, she can see that, like, yo, shit's actually going to get done. I feel like some women just fear that, like, nothing's going to get done. Like, we're just going to sit there like blobs on the couch. Kids going to be running around, tearing up shit, writing on the walls, doing whatever they want to do. No, we really actually care about, like, you know what I'm saying, the developmental stage of our children, you know what I'm saying? Especially now. I can imagine like Nova's talking and all that shit. So like we actually really care about that stuff.
Yeah, that's us, but that's not every man, because I can't see in every man doing what I do. I just don't. Not every man has that in them to do that. Some men do struggle. I know that for a fact. Yeah. I know that for a fact, because not every man is comfortable doing certain things, and not every man is comfortable rising to the occasion. You can easily say that. It sounds good, but not every man is built like that. You know what I mean? And it's just, I feel like it's just, you know, it's normal for a man not to be able to do certain things, yo, for a kid, because that's just not them. Like the same thing I was saying like, yo, you asking a man to like change his whole persona on life and like the snap of a finger when she gets pregnant. That's not normal for a man. You know what I mean?
At all. No.
Exactly. So it's just, it's how many times you seen men in a movie like, oh my God, like he's peeing on me. Oh my God, like that's like a normal thing, for some men. You know what I mean? They just don't know. Some men, and the biggest thing about it, let me tell you something. Some men don't even know how to take care of themselves. You know what I mean? There's a lot of men, they don't hygienically, they don't even take care of themselves properly. So how you gonna take care of a kid? You feel me? So
some men that shit changes though.
Yeah, but you got to change yourself though, man.
That's what I'm saying.
It gotta be. But this is the thing. It's the same thing with anything in life, yo. You got to show me some type of consistency, right? Until you show me some type of consistency, then we can talk about it. And that's where I can kind of understand women too, because it's like, yo, naturally they have the consistency, and not all women. Some women mentally can't do it. Some women mentally are forced into different places where they're like, yo, they just abandoned the kid. But majority of women, they have like, it's already instilled in them to like care for the baby already. Like it's natural. Some men, it's not. They can't even care for themselves. Some niggas don't even brush their teeth in the morning, man. You feel me?
Well, yeah, but some men like myself, it wasn't natural for me to learn. Well, I'm trying to figure out a way to put this, but like, if you guys remember my story, like I moved out of my mother's basement, and for the first time in my life, this is the first time living on my own, and I'm having children. I get hit with, you're having children, like the next month is like, I'm pregnant. So it's not a matter of, and in my mind, I was like, oh, how the fuck am I? In my mind, like then I was like, oh, how the fuck am I gonna have kids? I can't even fucking. I just learned how to pay a gym membership.
I know, but you've lived on your own before, though. You feel me?
When?
So you went to college.
But that's like, that shit don't even, it counts. But
it does count. Yo, listen.
In the bare necessities of like hygienic behavior and shit like that. But it's not like you don't.
You had to wash your clothes, right?
You don't pay bills. You don't handle anything else outside of just your element, right? That, okay, I understand. But what I'm saying is just outside your element, like you got to figure, like you just, sometimes life just forces you to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but it's somewhat the same situation, yo, because think about it. First of all, you're not anywhere near home, right? Secondly, sometimes you got to find a way to eat. That's a response. Anything that forces you to do something, it's a responsibility, which teaches you how to be responsible in life, right? So right then and there, like, yo, you're becoming responsible now. So you got to find a way to, get food. You got to wash your clothes. Lord forbid something happened to the dorm, the heater break. You got to contact someone to do that shit. Even though you don't got to pay for it, you got to contact somebody to do that shit. You got schoolwork, you got basketball. So, yo, as a man or as a young man, there's times in life where you have made the time to take on another responsibility, right? And so many people look past that and be like, yo, how am I going to do that? And it was funny because there's one guy that's at the gym. I just be learning so much. I was like, yo, I'm about to have a kid. Like, yo, like, am I going to have the time? And he was like, yo, he said, you went to college, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, you play basketball, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, you got a job, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, you got a wife, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, throughout your life, you made time for all of that. He was like, you're going to continue to make time for everything in your life because that's just how life goes. You know what I mean? And so many people look past that like, dang, yo, am I going to have time for this? But look how many things in life we had time to do and we made the time to do it and we still good. You feel me? So don't look past like, yo, I just moved out my mom's house. Like you was already responsible in some ways. You feel me? So, little by little, yo, you had that responsibility in you now to be a father, to be an independent man.
A father's a whole different ballgame because now it's like the seriousness behind like being a dad. It's like in today's world, it's a lot of pressures on top of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. As being a father, yeah, that's a different category. But from being responsible and taking care of yourself, you've had that before. But some men haven't. There's a lot of men that never went to school out of state. There's a lot of men that, you know, don't really know how to take care of themselves. And I know that for a fact. I know niggas now that don't even know how to take care of themselves, man. I see people walk out the house. I'm like, yo, come on, yo, like take care of you. Yo, you walked out the house like that, yo? Come on, man. And then the thing about it too, yo, because there's a woman too, yo, because some women, they put up with certain shit, right? They see that shit too. Like, yo, this thing can barely take care of himself, yo. He gonna try to take care of the kid, yo. Come on, man. Look at this nigga's room. He can't even clean up the room, yo. He gonna clean up my baby.
What do you think that thought process is like for women? Like, I want to know. Like, what do you
that shit, yo, it's the same.
Like, what do you think that like she's been? So I'm gonna give you a scenario. So like she's been with homie, right? And she just know he can't. He's not that he's not at father quality. Like he probably is, probably not. But like just certain shit that throughout his day-to-day life that this shit just not going well, and she finds out she's pregnant by. What do you think her thought process is like? What do you think she says? You think she's like, oh,
no, he's not ready to be a father. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of women, and you hear this before. There's a lot of women that tell men like, yo, not even a lot of women though, but you hear women say, I think he's gonna be a great father, right? That's because she has seen characteristics and she's seen certain things that infiltrate that, yo, he can take on another person. You know what I mean? But then again, if you're not really hearing that all the time or you never heard that, yeah, well, maybe she sees some shit where she's saying like, yo, we'll see. Maybe when he get the kid, he can be a great father. But yo, you know what I mean? Just think about it. There's a lot. There's women out there, they pregnant, they be like, yo, Mike is going to be a great dad, man. He's going to be a great dad. You know,
never count. Listen, at the end of the day, never count homie out. You never know what the fuck men are capable of. Honestly,
I know, but hold on, you can't count them out if you see them not doing certain shit, bro. And there's women out there, bro. There's women out there. I guarantee you. I know this for a fact. You can put this on IG. There's women out there that love a guy, have a baby with them, and they saying, I don't even know if he's ready to be a dad. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know that's millions. It's so many people in the world. That's millions of people probably say that shit because, yo, being a dad and being a good spouse is two different things. All right?
Right.
Two different things. Because when you're a spouse, you're not taking care of someone, right? You're not really doing certain shit that you're supposed to do with a kid.
Building. So yeah.
You got a kid, yo, it's certain stuff that you got to do. And sometimes as a spouse, you don't really show that all the time.
So with that being said, is it like you think it's like an instant, like he's just not capable of, or is it, you think it just takes time? Like,
no, I think it's multiple things. I'm gonna give you another thing. Yeah, I think it's a list of things, and damn, I'm thinking like a woman. That's crazy. But I'm at the same time. That's how I kept going. But the thing about it is, I'm a man of responsibility, so I already know what they're thinking about.
That's what we are. So it's kind of like we get it, but there's some things that there's that mother. I feel like that mothers do that just naturally do that we don't really like. We sometimes we can't comprehend, which is fine. But we are men of responsibility. I'm saying, like, we make sure there's food on the table, our kids are clothed, we make sure how to get them to and from wherever the hell they need to go. Like, we're involved, we're in everybody's world. But like, how does that look for like those people or those women out there? It's like shit. Like for one, like those women, it's like, fuck, I got pregnant by so and so. I don't even think he's nowhere near ready to say it, like to be a dad. Like, how could she say that so soon? Versus like not waiting for the long haul of the process, but waiting to see until a certain point that can prove himself.
So I think it's different levels to it. So a woman, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm kind of a little bit spot on. So I think saying fuck yo, I don't need to know this guy is good enough to be a father. That's like top tier. That's like at the top. That's the top. That's like, damn, that's the worst. But then you had different things where it's just like, dang, yo, like, I'm pregnant, I'm happy, but like, is he ready though? Right. And so we just talked about the aspect of responsibility, man being responsible. But then you had the other aspect, which a lot of women look past, yo. And another thing is like, yo, is he a good family person? Right? Because at the end of the day, yo, like, a way a guy treats his mother, his family, is the same way he's going to treat you as possibly his kids, right? So then again, it's just like, yo, you see him not really being, sociable with family, or he don't really visit his family, or he don't really talk about his family, or, little shit like that, or he not really in tune with like being touchy-feely, or like he don't like certain stuff. It's like, all right, yo, I really don't see him, being a great dad. He could be a good dad, but can he be a great dad? I don't see it right now. You know what I mean?
But see, that's the thing though. It's like, how can you, like, we said this on, I think it was episode 7, good man equal good father, right? Like, some men aren't the best person to like be friends with, like, not be friends with, but just some men just are like, just assholes and shit, but like they have kids, and then it's like, okay, now he starts to correct himself. So how do you?
I get where you coming from, but I'm about to really just hit you on the head, yo. How are you gonna give a nigga a job, and then you like, yo, but like when he gets a job, he can be a good worker? It's like, yo, you got to have some characteristics behind it to show you that he can be a good worker. You feel me? It's the same thing with everything in life, yo. Like, you go like, yo, you go golf, you go basketball, like, yo, I want him to be my golf partner. It's like, yo, I want him to be my golf partner because I seen that nigga hit hole-in-ones hella time. Not, yo, I think he can be my golf partner. He could potentially, you got to see some good qualities. And then from there, people would then transition into, yo, this is what I believe. But, it's very few and far for people to be like, yo, I'm going to pick that person. I never seen them do nothing, and I think they're going to be great. That's far and few, my G.
Yeah, but full circle, right? So back to what we was talking about in the beginning episode. So it's like people's adversities of what they've come from, how it builds them up to be this certain figure in society, right? And it's kind of like women can see like how successful they could be with Mike, with GQ, with Boog, when it comes to raising a family. So it's like, I don't know, man.
So also when I say like, yo, when I say a good man equals a good father, yo, like a good man, first of all, everyone knows this, yo, a man is defined by taking care of his responsibilities in life, right? That's a man. That's a man. Anything that comes to his step or anything that comes to his feet, he gonna take care of that shit. No matter if it's a bill, no matter if it's something disrespectful, or no matter if it's like, yo, it's financial, he gonna take care of that responsibility. And I think that's the number one attribute as a man. So like, yo, as a good man, if you know he's willing to take responsibility and take care of any responsibilities, then if he gets a kid, he gonna take care of that responsibility, my G. You know what I mean? Like like you can't even say you a man and not have the word responsibility in that characteristic, yo.
But there's some men that out there that's this seems like it's turned into a mother podcast, fucking diaper moms and shit. But what I'm saying,
it's great, yo, because right now we kind of talking about a definition or characteristics of like what a man is, right?
So if there's some men out there that can take care of responsibilities of like whatever comes at their feet, but when they have children, it's like they get fucking shell shocked. And it's like, oh, I don't know if I can think this is too much of a responsibility, right? I'm cool with like dealing with like paying, like making sure everything's in line for us, right? and then they step into fatherhood and they're like, cool, I could do this too. You know what I'm saying? That's the space me and you in, right? We can take care of responsibilities. We know how to make means to an end for us to live and all that extra shit. And you also can, you know what I'm saying, do the same for your child. Some men probably, some out there, not saying probably, but some of them, keep saying probably, some of them can do the responsibility portion of life just for themselves. But when it comes to when you have a child, it's like,
You're not a good man anymore, bro. You already hurt your team.
So you're not a good man anymore.
You're not, yeah. You can't.
Regardless of if he can take care of his own, and he just knows he just knows in his mind it's like that. So that just immediately just revokes his card.
That revokes your card, yo. I put this on everybody, man. Anybody that say, yo, if you can't take care of your kid or you can't step up to the plate, yo, at being a kid, and you don't have and you mentally straight in the head and everything's good with you, and you can't do that, your card is revoked as a man. I'm telling you that right now, man. I'm telling you, because as a man, yo, you step up for any responsibility you need to, and yo, one of the biggest responsibility in life is a kid, yo. If you can't step up for that, your own seed. Yo, you tarnished, bro. You tarnished, yo. Don't even be around me. Don't talk to me, yo. Because how you gonna say you a good man now?
Load up the Drake.
And like the third Migos, I take.
Can't,
man. Can't, yo. You tarnished, yo. Yo, there's no way, yo. And that's crazy though. That's actually something crazy to say, man. Like, yo, I'm a good man, yo, but I couldn't be a good father. I couldn't be a good father. Just can't. I just can't. Not even that.
Like, there's like there's never a reason behind it, but it ain't like there's no like reasons to like try to like say, like, oh, I just can't. It's just I can't. I can pay your bills. I can pay my bills, but I just the thought of like having a kid and then on top of that, if something happens to us, we connected. Like, I just can't.
Hey man, it's a lot of situations out there, man. It's like that, man. You'd be surprised. It's like I said, man. It's millions of people out here, millions in every different country. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is straight line. There's
that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of the shit, though, is that like if you can accept the fact that like, and you'll never be ready. That's the one thing. The three things you should do, or really the top two things that you should accept is you're never ready. No one's ever really ready to have kids, because in my opinion, how can you be ready for something you've never experienced before, right? And two is you gotta write your own story. You know what I'm saying? There's no book on this shit, right? There's no. And it kind of how like earlier we was talking about how women are they want to be intellectual with reading like this, like books on like how to take care of kids and do certain things like potty training and shit like that. And once as a man, you wrap your mind on the fact that like, dog, you write your own story to this journey, and it, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to live out every page, every word on every page. I think that eases the tension off of you to understand that, like, listen, I'm going to a place I've never been. I'm going to embrace this journey. I'm going to do the best I can, and then you'll be fine. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man. But you know, I sometimes I understand where the women are coming from, man. I can't knock them, man, because like I said, seen a lot of men, guys, man, can't even take care of themselves, take care of themselves, bro. And they want to, they okay with having a baby. It's like, like, I know eventually you'd be a good father, but certain things got to be questioned sometimes,
You a musty nigga, bro. What's up? Like,
hey, man.
I second that though. Like I understand. Like I think that's because that's another thing, is that because we come from, like, we were raised around women, right? Like, I was raised around.
Sorry.
I was raised around my mom, my sister, my niece. You know what I'm saying? My dad was still in the picture. He's always been in the picture. Not saying he wasn't.
Shout out to Diet, yo. Shout out to Pops, yo.
Shout out to Pops. But in my household, at my immediate household, it was all women. So I understand how women think. So I think that gives us the advantage to certain shit because it's like, you understand why women act a certain way. But some men don't have that, you know what I'm saying? But some men come from a two-parent household or even some situations, some men are raising their children, are single fathers. So you know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm gonna ask you this, yo. Like when you get a chance, yo, ask your mom or ask like Ashley's mom and just ask them like, yo, did you ever think like your husband would be a great dad? You know what I mean? Just see what they say, yo. Just see what they say. You know what I mean?
Curious. Yeah, that's a good ass question to spark, bro.
Yeah, just ask them or ask Ashley like, yo.
That needs to go in our story. Because Ashley's story is different. Ashley said that when she saw me, she knew that that's her word, that she just saw something in me that just made it seem like I was just raising children. And that's the crazy part is that I don't know what the fuck she saw. Because at the time, like, I was just a young knucklehead just beating the street.
She saw a spring chicken, man. That's what she saw, man. But yeah, that's a good question. Ask.
Yeah, like what is it? Wait, we need to post that on the story because we got a big following of women. I'm kind of curious to know is like, what do you see like for those women who have children? Like, what did you see in your husband that said, you know what, he's the one for me. We're gonna have kids.
We're gonna ask that tomorrow, yo. That's gonna be a good one. Everybody be up. Everyone's kind of like sleeping now, but that's gonna be a good one. Cause yo, I'm curious. Oh shit. I'm curious to see, you know, what people say. Cause I know for a fact there's fucking women out there, but like, yo, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be.
Well, what about the flip side of it though? So like, what if like the dad sees something in the woman that could possibly be how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Like, do dads have that, like, do they have the inclination to think of a woman like, hey, you got good motherly features, like I can see you being the mother of my children?
I think there's certain things that women can do to show them like, yo, you're not ready to have a kid, yo. Like, and I think one of the biggest things is like women going out. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, there's a lot of women that like to go out and like, it's like, are you ready to like sacrifice that to be a mother? You know what I mean? And some women just, and you know, the thing about it is that man, they ain't found the shit out of him. Some men already know like, yo, I know you well enough, yo. You like that glamour lighter. You like that, you know, that type of lifestyle. I don't know if you can sacrifice it. You know what I mean? But to your word, what you're saying is once they had the baby, they can be great mothers.
First of all,
see, that's what you're saying for the dads. That's what you say.
No, what I'm saying, no, I'm not saying that they can instantly snap into it. I'm saying you got to give a motherfucker a chance to prove you wrong, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, oh shit, I see a kid in his mind, this motherfucker look like me, like, oh, I'm all of a sudden I just gotta be super dad or super mom shit. No. But what I'm saying is that like how not so much the duration of how long you wait to see if somebody will change, because it could be 9 months after the child's born, or it could be up to a year and a half, 2 years. Like how long do you wait? That's what I'm saying, as far as like to see if there's a spark in that person.
So like, for example, women, once again, they already had that advantage because as soon as they figure out they're pregnant, they have to change everything. You feel me? If they're smokers, drinkers, going out, that stops. So they already show some type of responsibility already. I know. Ding! I'm telling you, yo, they already got the upper hand because, yo, like for us, like we could do all those things, maybe not fold our clothes, maybe not do that in the third, and then the baby comes, we're like, yo, dang, yo, you know what? I got to change that shit around. I got to start being better. But like for a woman, as soon as the baby's in her, she got to change. She got to be on her good shit. She can't be stressed out, can't be drinking, can't be going out. She really starts to become entwined with herself.
So is it she's starting to become intertwined with herself, or is it the forced responsibility to do what's right?
I think it's both. The baby forces her to do it. The baby forces her to do it. Yes.
Some women don't do what's necessarily correct.
Yeah. Some women be smoking, drinking, doing all that shit, and then they get the men. Then they get the men that can't take care of themselves. It's a full circle. Listen, man. Listen, I'm done killing y'all with these knowledge and these full circles because I'm done. I'm done. Listen, Boog, wrap it up for them, man. Wrap it up for them, yo.
Listen, first of all, y'all need to tune the fuck into this episode. This shit crazy. However, I digress. Catch us on YouTube, IG, Diaper.Dads, of course. Hello. You'll see our beautiful faces there. DIAPER.DADS. Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. Hey, hit us up in the DMs. We need some more topics. We curious to know what everyone thinks. We'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.
How it feel to be a dad? How it feel to be a man? You provide by any means, and we sticking to the plan. Yeah, I do this for my seed. Come and listen, come and see. Remember, it was just me. Now it's all about me. Lead by example. This for my child. I swear that I got you for life. Went from the court to talking about buckets. Now we talking Pampers and wipes. I really love this though. Look at you and get inspired. You the fuel to my fire. Come here, let me change your diaper. Diaper dash.